This week on My Global Adventure.
I sucked. I was terrible at it when I started. I was falling off constantly. Day 104. Not only am I in Hong Kong, but I'm officially at the halfway point of my global adventure. Just off the mainland of Southeast China, this island city is a unique mixture of new and old, high-tech and time-honored tradition. It's a taste of Manhattan in the world's largest Chinatown. It seems the perfect place to begin the second half of my journey around the world, especially when there's the chance to see what's in store for me.
Basically, they are talking to God.
This is Wong Tai Sin, home to Hong Kong's busiest temples, embracing China's three main faiths, Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. It is also known as the Fortune Teller's Temple, which might explain why it gets more than 3 million visitors a year. And it's where I meet my guide, Winnie Chang. She was so fun, and she was so into whatever we wanted to do. We got along right away, and we just kept getting along the whole time we were there. I'm gonna keep you
Yeah. Shall we do that? Yeah. Same thing. You've done it.
The first step is to make a wish for the future over burning incense, or at least try. Travels up these things.
Hey,
I just put it off.
Look.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm going to have that life for the rest of my life. Cut. The next step is to select a series of random numbers, which apparently helps the fortune teller catch a glimpse of my future.
Each of the sticks are marked with a number. So one fortune, one thing, one question you ask, one stick. Done.
2.
So 26 and 2.
Yes. 3 is a lucky number where I'm from, so I'm going to ask one more question.
One more question. Good.
In the back of the temple is a 2-level hallway with rows of professional fortune tellers. In booth number 15 sits Joyce Chan, an unassuming-looking woman whose quiet manner almost causes me to walk by her.
And then I can read the life, brings life, career life, and love life. Sometimes.
But at one point she stopped and she looked at me and she started talking to me about my job and how it requires a really unnatural level of truthfulness and openness, and she felt that it was damaging me somehow inside, and I thought it was an interesting perspective. I didn't really know how to take that or what to do with it, and I felt like, yeah, damn, she's right, because I do feel unnaturally overexposed in this job, and it was hurting me a lot in this trip, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. My experience with Joyce leaves me with mixed feelings. I'm still not sure what tomorrow will bring, but I feel somehow validated by her insight into the vulnerability I often feel in front of the camera. These are all local birds. They come from everywhere. Of course, the camera follows us to our next stop, the Yuan Po Street Bird Garden, where Hong Kong bird lovers gather to buy, sell, trade, and even train their favorite pets.
China, people come and choose the bird, but just as if the way they look at the person, the bird is heads up, show the back, and then there will be a good bird. And then the most important thing is to listen very carefully the way they sing. When they are babies, they train them to talk. they fall in love with it, as if that you have a newborn baby. Start from there, and you have the passion of it, and the bird is part of your life.
Right.
It's a habit that to like you guys have a pet, and Chinese have a bird as a pet. You know,
It's nice and compact for your small spaces.
Area.
Yeah. It's a little easier to keep than, say, a St. Bernard.
Well, Hong Kong is more.
Space is certainly at a premium here in Hong Kong, but some residents have been able to escape the concrete jungle. Tomorrow I spend the day with one of those families, as part of the crew on their Chinese fishing boat. Okay. It looks a lot easier than it is when you try it. Day 105. It's early morning in Hong Kong Harbor, and we're on our way to meet a shrimp boat. That's right, Forrest Gump fans, a shrimp boat. Mr. Ho, a local fisherman, has offered to take us on board and show me the ropes. Also on board are his wife, a son and daughter, and 2 hired hands from mainland China. It isn't long before the whole crew is hard at work, dragging in net loads of assorted creatures my dad affectionately calls sea bugs. Woo! Oh my God, look at the size of this one. I have a somewhat mild phobia of insects. And it's really not that mild, but I try to downplay it. And anything that has legs or resembles an insect is gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me an awful lot. And there were a lot of things that we were pulling off the bottom of this body of water that looked an awful lot like bugs, and felt an awful lot like bugs, and moved an awful lot like bugs. Wow, look at that guy. Despite the dance these creepy crawlies are doing on deck, I pitch in to help sort them for delivery to the fish market. Mr. Ho tries to show me how to tie the crabs with straw so their claws are bound to their bodies. But unfortunately, I'm all thumbs. Wow, okay. So I put it where? Right here? And then around this claw? Like that? Okay. It looks a lot easier than it is when you try it. And then you just tie it. I can't even get the little knot at the end part. Isn't that terrible? Wow. This job was a huge undertaking for me. Yeah, it was a really cool opportunity. Obviously it was. I took it. But there was a lot of challenges for me, and one of the biggest ones was just going into something that I didn't know how to do. And I had series after series and moment, whether it was on camera or in my room or whatever, that I just thought, oh my God, I'm doing so bad at this job. And the day that we were on the ship with the hose was kind of one of those days. Like I was in that phase where I felt awkward. I felt like every question I was asking was stupid, and I just felt incompetent, or just, I felt like a greenie, which I was. And I just wasn't willing to accept that at that point in time. Soon, it's time to taste the fruits of our collective labor. A seafood feast that would cost an arm and a leg in a restaurant. At the end of the day, we return to Cheng Chau Island so that the Ho family can sell the rest of the day's catch at the local fish market. It's such a relative thing to say, like, oh, they must have such a hard life, or boy, they live the easy life. You know, if you grow up working on a fishing boat, it's just your life. It's what you do. And I think that was the case with the Hos. You know, they had been doing this for forever. Their kids were doing it, their parents had been doing it, and they were great. They were happy. Get your swimsuit. Today you will travel to Sai Kung Bay to be blown away by your windsurfing adventure. Hong Kong offers some of the best and most challenging windsurfing in the world. Oh, okay, this is cool. And granted, we may not look much like ESPN by the time we're done, but this is definitely going to be out of my comfort zone, which is exactly what I wanted to do with this job. So I'm pumped windsurfing. Yes!
Just in the middle.
I've always wanted to surf. So when I found out that I was going to be windsurfing, it was like, okay, yep, okay, good enough. I'm on the water, I'm on a surfboard. If they want to attach a big sail to it, they're fine. I wanted windsurfing to be fun. I also wanted to be able to do it. And Eddie helped in both of those counts. He took me through it step by step. He was having a really good time. He was into what we were doing. And to me, that made the day. When I got out on there, though, holy mackerel, was this a learning curve that day, because I sucked. I was terrible at it when I started. I was falling off constantly. But Eddie was really, really good. That's hard work. By the end of the day, I was not only standing, I was up with the sail and I was sailing out, which I really didn't think I would get that far. So it turned out to be not only a fun day, which I knew it was going to be anyway, but kind of a success story, which was very cool. And I think this guy really knows his stuff, so here goes.
This is the tea place.
For lunch, Winnie suggests the Moon Garden Tea House, where tea is definitely the operative word. The Chinese are as passionate about their tea as the Italians are about coffee or the French about wine. And Moon Garden owner Vincent Lee is no exception.
Yes, anything can be related to tea in China. Yeah, just like when you're going to marriage, you have to serve your parents a cup of tea to get a promise and approval. And then when you do something wrong, you have to serve a cup of tea to ask for forgive. So bad thing, good things, all related to tea.
Many Chinese call tea the water of life. It's there at every meal to quench the thirst, spark the appetite, cleanse the palate, and bring people together in a kind of social bonding. And for Vincent Lee, there's not only the art of making tea, but serving and drinking it as well.
So normally we hold it with the big finger and the middle finger, and hold the bottom with the forefinger.
With the forefinger.
Okay. Is it hot?
It is too hot.
It's
Don't
okay.
burn yourself.
We don't drink, but slurp.
Smell first.
Nice. Very nice.
Bigger slurper.
Did you just slurp the whole thing? Oh, just
He did.
Vincent was one of those people that
He's a pro, though.
takes what they do seriously, to the point where it's not just something that they do, but it's something that they love.
Normally we drink
And Vincent loved tea.
So you have to dry up the bottom, otherwise you will bring some water to the cup. And we drop a little bit out and then pour it to the cup.
I wasn't surprised at all that tea making was full of ceremony and ritual, because so much of Chinese culture is exactly that. And for tea to not be, that would be an anomaly, actually. So when Vincent started to get into the details of how tea is made, how it's prepared, how it's served, you know, to the points of how many sips you take and where you set it when you put it back down, that was exactly what I expected. And it's great. I love that about Chinese culture. Thank you very much for your hospitality. Fantastic. Day 107, our last day in Hong Kong. The crew and I are on our way to something called a wishing tree, with a stop along the way to make one of my own wishes come true. I love getting tattoos. Prenatal jitters. And it begins. I have always had a fascination with body art. I love it. Whether it be piercing, whether it be tattooing, whatever it is. I love that people like to change their own physicality in whatever way, even working out, whatever it is. I'm a total body art addict, and if I didn't give myself something to focus on, I would end up looking like a total biker chick. So the idea behind the book was always to, if I wanted to add a tattoo, I could just add a line in the book and eventually just fill it up without having tattoos expanding all over my body. We live in our homes, and we hang pictures, we lay carpet, we put in furniture. That's how we turn the house that we live into a home. So when we're here, we're living in this skin, too. To me, doing body art is like hanging a picture. It's like laying a rug. It's like making the skin that I'm in my home. The body art phenomenon became a My Global Adventure phenomenon as soon as I got in there. This guy was really so good that it was hard to pass up, and not just for me. Tom also went in, got a tattoo of the characters for family on his ankle, which we bugged him. We're wrong, actually. We told him that was actually the tattoos for I used to be a fat woman, but which I still think is true. But anyway, and Roger got the sign for the Chinese symbol for peace on his back, which totally suits Roger to a T. So it was very cool that everybody wanted to do it together.
White bit.
You know the superstition with wishes, you can't know them. Good, that's what we need, a bright day. As we prepare to leave for mainland China, we're all hoping that the second half of this global adventure will be even better than the first. And if hope is just a wish and a prayer, then our guide Winnie has the perfect suggestion for our last stop in Hong Kong. The wishing tree is a good example of age-old tradition right smack in the middle of Hong Kong high-tech. Followers of the Tao faith believe that written wishes thrown into the branches of this old banyan tree will be answered by the Taoist tree god.
One each.
So what got started about the orange?
Right.
Why an orange?
When we first doing it, we actually used a red cloth, write the wishes, and tied up some money. And of course nowadays we don't tie up money and throw it on the tree. So orange, gold color, orange color represents money. So that's why we tied it up with the orange instead of some money. And the paper in here, the whole bunch of paper in here, each one of them represents different things. Longevity, wealth, baby, fertility. All right, still very much the priority for the newlywed couple. Good luck come from all direction. This is the money sign. This is longevity, double happiness. All whatever you want.
You know the superstition with the wishes, you can't know them. Hong Kong was the beginning of the second half of the show, so going to this wishing tree and being able to sort of throw good karma out there, or whatever you would call it. That was a good idea, I think. And we were all sort of the mentality that we wanted to make sure the second half improved on the first half, and that we all gained from what we had learned. Plus, it was post 9/11, which we had all been affected by, thinking of family, thinking of friends, thinking of our own travel safety.
First of all, please get us all home safe and sound. Secondly, please take care of my children while I'm away.
Excellent. Very well done. 10s all around. Okay.
And really hoping that people can look inside themselves and kind of see a bit of commonality rather than so much difference.
Nice! At the last moment.
Oh, no, that's bad luck.
Roger, I've only got 6 minutes of tape.
Yeah, well, you can stop rolling any time.
There you go. See? So we all made our wishes, and sooner or later, all of our wishes made it onto the tree. It's very important that we do this right now because we're starting the second half, and we really want to start it off on a good foot. And I don't know about anybody else, but I think if the tree god listens to my wishes, we're going to be good. We're going to be in for a good second half. Hong Kong is the busiest place I have ever been, an island in constant motion. It's still steeped in tradition, in the way people live their lives, in the spiritual practices they follow. And yet they don't allow traditions of the past to stand in the way of how they do things in the future. As we prepare to leave for the next leg of my global adventure, I can only hope that I will learn to do the same.
Coming up on My Global Adventure.
Finding out that the adventure in China was flying over the Great Wall in an ultralight, I mean, come on, it really doesn't get much better than that.